Ah, you're finally here. Please, have a seat. You know, this is really uncomfortable. Do you have any better chairs or anything? You shut the hell up. That chair costs more than what you make in 10 years, buddy. So, what brings you in today? Ever since I went on that journey to find the greatest or best Christmas game, just things haven't really been the same. You know what I mean? Like, I feel strange, but I still hear that voice going on and on about finding the best Christmas game. It's just.
I've been having quite the trouble lately this holiday. All these games to play, but nothing to talk about. But I just couldn't go this year without spreading some holiday cheer. Or terror. So I thought to myself, what would O.J. Simpson do? Christmas, video games. Christmas, video games. Christmas video games.
I believe something smells quite foul here.
You ever just play a game despite how good the game is? Truly enthralling of an experience. You just sit there and think, need some Kris Kringle. Well, I did, but it had been brought to my attention that there is very few games that give me what I want. And so that is what I'll be doing today. Looking for Christmas games, but not just any Christmas game, no, that'd be too easy. But what about the best one? What are the odds of finding one? Ignore the graph. So I've made a realization. When I did research to find some Christmas games, I learned that most of it was just shovelware garbage. Elf Bowling. Never mind, that's the greatest thing I've ever seen. Why doesn't Jeff Keighley glaze this game? In fact, what games in recent years have even been solely Christmas-based? Well, I've just been informed by my assistant that there was one last year. The Grinch Christmas Adventures, released in October of 2023, and it looks like it's based off that Illumination movie from 5 years ago. I spent minute upon minute searching, just endlessly, only to return empty-handed. I mean, for fuck's sake, all I had to go off of was Elf Bowling. Like, what do you say that wasn't already obvious? So I searched some more, going through and destroying both my physical game collection and my Steam collection. After years and years of more searching, and then I found it. Max Payne! What's a better way of being jolly and spreading cheer than gunning down homeless people and having drunk-induced nightmares? What about Mafia 2? Once you get past the World War II opening in Sicily, you go to Empire Bay during the winter. Technically, it does take place during February, but, fuck you. I love this opening part of the game. Easily the best and most memorable part of the game. Not that the rest of it isn't good, I just really like this part the most. You also had some other games, too, that took place during the winter. Like Spider-Man Miles Morales. I played it for like 5 minutes. It was cool. Mario games themselves, they're filled with a ton of snow levels. Couldn't that count? And when I say Mario games, I mean all of them. From the platformers, to Mario Kart, to Mario Party, to Five Nights at Mario's. Cool Mountain, one of the most iconic levels in any Mario game. Mount Wario in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, or DK Summit in Wii. And actually, they do indeed have a Christmas-themed course, Merry Mountain. This track originated in Mario Kart Tour, a mobile game that I do not care about, but it was brought into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as part of the Booster Course Pass. Animal Crossing has Winter. That counts, right? I used to play a shit ton of Animal Crossing New Leaf on my old 2DS because, yes, I actually owned one at one point. Then I sold it, right up there with my PS3 and PSP for worst decisions I've ever made. I love Animal Crossing New Leaf. Whenever I was out of the house, you could never catch me not playing it. It was this and Pokemon Omega Ruby that I played the most. Man, I really miss those days. It was at this point where I was still not satisfied with what I have found. Besides shovelware garbage, the Grinch Christmas Adventure, and some good games that happen to just have snow in them so I have to reach just to make a point, I had nothing. Then proceeded more endless, pointless, and downright unnecessary searching. And after all of what felt like meaningless and not so exhausting process of researching, I think I found something. Indie games. Now, many of you at home may be asking yourself, how was it so hard for me to come to this conclusion? I'll get back to you on that. But nevertheless, with how many indie games are released onto Steam each day, we are guaranteed a home run out of at least one of these, right? First contender, Hentai Christmas. It's a puzzle game. Not good enough? Okay, well, here's a good one. Christmas Squirt. Okay. You guys don't like those first two? Fine, I get it, Porn isn't for everybody. Here's one more. Christmas Adventure. It's porn. The joke is porn, guys. Get it? It's funny because it's porn. I'm not sure what it was, but there was at least 2 other games that featured like sexual content and related to Christmas. And that's just weird to me. Like, why? Like, I'm not searching for this. I just want to experience Christmas joy or whatever, Not get a stiffy. And this was when I learned there was so much porn on Steam. I felt like Ted in that one scene.
There's so much porn!
But that Christmas Adventure game is such a troll because you look at it before clicking on it. It wouldn't click in your mind that there was anything like inappropriate or sexual in the game. Then you click on it. What the fuck? At least Hentai Christmas wasn't ashamed of what they are. They still had some integrity. There's also this free game on here called Junior's Adventure. Does this classify as a horror game? It's actually so insane that this is even a thing. I mean, sure, it's free. I think it'd be 1,000 times worse if it was even costing like $1 just to play, but I would feel embarrassed just putting this out there. But this isn't the point. I mentioned indie games as if I found some actually good games, but there was just so much garbage all over the place. I'm not even here to do actual critiques of any game here. This was just some stupid joke video, but the more I look at stuff, what do you want me to even say about this? Like, what is there that I can take away from looking at this? However, I concluded my research with 3 solid candidates. Number 1, The Escapist. Technically not a Christmas game, but I also counted Mafia 2, so fuck off. It should be obvious, but for those that never played these games, let me put you on game real quick. Christmas levels. You're trapped in Santa's prison and you have to break out. There's actually quite a few Christmas-themed maps, but the DLC in the first game I remember the most is Santa's Sweatshop, which again was for the first game, and I know the sequel has quite a few of them too, but I'm just gonna bring up this because it's pretty cool, it's fun. If you like The Escapist, if you like breaking out of prison, play it. Number 2, Christmas Massacre, made by Puppet Combo, and I very, very briefly mentioned them in my horror games episode. Puppet Combo makes PSX and VHS style horror games, and he made a Christmas game a couple years back where you play as a guy named Larry and you kill people. If you played any Puppet Combo game but you haven't played this yet, it's basically what you've come to expect from his games. Good atmosphere, solid sound design, not the most deep and groundbreaking gameplay, and a pretty short runtime. Pretty solid. Number 3, Christmas Luge. If you want a genuine critique of this game for some reason, it's not porn. 7 out of 10. It's the equivalent to a mobile or Roblox game. You play as a blocky penguin, you bobsled down a confusing mountain and fill in for fat fuck Chris and give the impoverished Arctic villages scarves to survive the winter. It literally took me less than 7 minutes to actually finish the game. I think so anyway. I messed up the first time, so it definitely took up half that time trying to get back up, but still, once you use up all the scarves, you have it all 3 villages, that is. That's it. There's a score, but it doesn't really mean much. But you got this little baby penguin that claims to be your brother, and he reads a story, and the entire 3rd village just wants to hear about it so badly. Now, considering I was on the hunt for the best Christmas game, which one of these 3? The Escapist. Yeah, it's definitely The Escapist. Is that a fair answer? No, it was never going to be, but The Escapist, how could you hate it? So, this worthless journey, it ends like this. But it made me think about something. What makes a Christmas game, well, Christmas? Well, anything could be a Christmas game. As long as you got it during Christmas, the game then counts, I guess, doesn't it? I don't know why, just doing this, even though it was all for a joke, it just had me remember the stuff I've gotten for Christmas in years prior. Before I decided to go on the hunt for a good Christmas game, I was going to look at games that released during the holiday season from like every year for the last 20 years. It was pretty boring, but it made me nostalgic when looking at some of the games that were there, and here's where I get really unnecessary. The earliest Christmas I remember like everything that I got, was 2013. I got the Nintendo 2DS. Yes, I was one of those poor souls that had one, and it was a beautiful handheld device. And I got quite a few games at Christmas. The ones I got alongside it was Mario Kart 7 and Animal Crossing New Leaf, and my mom was going to take us to our local GameStop before it closed like 2 years later. And the distinct moment that I had with the 2DS is when we walked outside to go to GameStop and I dropped that brick face first into a puddle. Not a scratch was on it, and it still worked perfectly. After that point, I would usually only get 1 or maybe 2 games for Christmas, and it usually was either the newest Call of Duty game or the newest Nintendo game for my DS. But in 2016, I remember having a crazy Christmas. I was still on the PS3 at the time, but then I got a hand-me-down Xbox One, I got Halo 5, I got Minecraft, I got Infinite Warfare, pretty sure I got MCC as well. But later on, with my Christmas money, like a couple days later, I got Titanfall 2 and then Dishonored 2. Say what you want about Infinite Warfare, but that's a slapper. Halo 5, not the best Halo, but that's also a slapper. I don't want to hear it. Anyways, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, completely unrelated tangent aside, yeah, I wasted my time, I wasted your time. The journey's over. I found the best Christmas game. It's The Escapist or Christmas Massacre. I don't care. You pick one. And that's where I end off today. And my final thoughts being just what a waste of time today was. And that's it. The last episode of 2024. Like the video and all that. Subscribe too if you're new. Follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky and whatever else. I don't know. I don't really care. And if you enjoyed the video, good. Now goodbye.